The blackness of space stretched endlessly, dotted with stars that twinkled like distant fires. A massive vessel glided silently among them, its silver hull glimmering under the faint light of a nearby sun. Inside, the Zitrians moved with a quiet purpose, their large, crystalline eyes reflecting the stars as they studied countless readings and holographic displays. After 500,000 years of travel, they were returning to a small blue planet in a distant corner of the galaxy-Earth. Long ago, humans had ruled the world. They had reached for the stars, built great cities, and carved their mark into the galaxy. But then, as far as history could tell, they vanished. The Zitrians had watched from afar, recording every achievement, every invention, and every mistake. Humanity had fascinated them. There was no other species like them. They were clever, unpredictable, and sometimes reckless, but always capable of surviving against incredible odds. "We are close," said Commander Zyrin, his voice resonating through the vessel in a tone both calm and commanding. The Zitrians' language was complex, full of musical hums and vibrations, but in the vessel's universal translator, it came out clear and precise. A younger Zitrian named Lyra stepped forward. Her translucent wings shimmered faintly as she hovered near the command console. "I still do not understand, Commander," she said. "Why return to this planet? 500,000 years have passed. Humanity may be gone forever." Zyrin's eyes, sharp and clear, studied the holographic map of the planet. "That is exactly why we return," he said. "Even if humans are gone, their legacy remains. The energy signatures we detected suggest activity. Something alive, something intelligent. This is not merely curiosity. It is our duty to know what has become of them." Lyra's wings flickered nervously. "Duty or fear?" she asked softly. "If there is life, what if it is hostile?" The commander's gaze turned outward, toward the tiny blue dot in the vast darkness. "Fear has never stopped humanity. It may test us, but it will teach us too. We must see with our own eyes." Below the vessel, Earth spun slowly, a sphere of swirling blues and greens. From orbit, the planet appeared peaceful, almost serene. Clouds drifted lazily over endless forests, and vast oceans reflected the sunlight in dazzling displays. But the Zitrians' new appearances were deceptive. The planet had changed since their last visit. Cities and civilizations they had recorded were gone, swallowed by time. And yet, some energy signature hinted at life that was neither ordinary nor fully familiar. "Prepare the reconnaissance drones," Zyrin commanded. "We must see the surface without revealing our presence." The vessel hummed with activity. Small, sleek drones detached from the main hull, moving like silver fish through the void. They entered the atmosphere silently, their sensors scanning mountains, valleys, and forests. The Zitrians watched in fascination as the drones captured every detail. Lyra's eyes widened at the readings. "Commander, these readings, they are organic, but not like any life we have cataloged. They are intelligent, yes, but they are also evolved. Faster, stronger, and reactive." Zyron leaned closer to the display. "Interesting. Humanity's records spoke of long-term survival plans, genetic engineering, and adaptive technologies. Could it be?" His voice trailed as he analyzed the data. The thought that humans may have prepared for a future even they could not fully predict sent a shiver through the crew. The drones moved closer to the planet's surface. Weaving through thick forests that had grown over where human cities once stood, the ruins of skyscrapers peeked through the greenery, silent witnesses to a vanished era. Roads had disappeared, rivers had shifted course, and the sky above was clearer than any human record suggested. Earth had healed itself over centuries, but the hidden signs of life hinted at something extraordinary suddenly. The drones detected structures, underground complex tunnels, and chambers buried beneath the surface. Their shapes were not natural, and the energy readings were strong. The Zitrians exchanged uneasy glances. "Commander," Lyra said, her voice trembling slightly, "these are not ruins. This is intentional. Someone built this, and it is still active." But it is not like human technology we know. It is alive. Zaren's crystalline hands tapped on the console. Alive and intelligent. This is exactly why we return. 500,000 years is nothing to humanity's legacy. Prepare the analysis teams. We will descend carefully, observe, and record. No sudden moves. No interference. The vessel adjusted its orbit, hovering silently over a dense green forest that stretched for miles. The drones transmitted images of massive underground entrances, covered by foliage so dense they were nearly invisible. The Zitrians stared at the sight with a mix of awe and caution. "Commander," Lyra asked, "if humans are gone, who built this?" Zaren's voice was calm but heavy with thought. "That is the question, Lyra. Perhaps it is human descendants, or something humans left behind. Either way, we must find out. History may have ended for them, but their future may still surprise us." For hours, the Zitrians studied the planet from orbit. They observed shifting lights deep underground, subtle movements that suggested something was alive. Energy flows, pulsed like veins through the structures, hinting at power and intelligence far beyond the natural world. The vessel's sensors could barely process the complexity. Lyra floated to the edge of the observation deck, gazing at the planet below. "I never imagined humans could leave something so lasting. Even now, after all this time, their presence is felt. Everywhere I look, it is as if they never truly left." Ziren nodded. "Humans always prepare for the impossible. That is why they are remembered across the galaxy. Their actions echo long after their disappearance. That is the mark of a species worth studying, worth understanding." As night fell on the planet below, the forests glowed faintly with bioluminescent plants, and strange moving lights danced across the ground. The drones captured every detail. Lyra's eyes followed the lights, filled with curiosity and a hint of fear. "Commander," she said quietly, "do you think they will recognize us?" Zaren's eyes reflected the green and blue hues of Earth. "Perhaps. If they are truly human in origin, they will know. And if they know, we must be careful. Humanity has always been clever, and their legacy may be far more than we are prepared for." Hours turned into days as the Zitrians continued their observations. Every sensor reading, every light pattern, every subtle energy pulse told them a story they could barely comprehend. Earth was alive in ways they had never imagined. And it was clear that whatever remained beneath the surface was aware, intelligent, and possibly waiting. Finally, Ziren made a decision. "We cannot remain in orbit forever. We must descend carefully, gather data directly, and understand what has become of this planet. Humanity's legacy may hold the key to the future of intelligent life in the galaxy." Lyra took a deep breath, her wings fluttering with anticipation. "It is terrifying, Commander, to see what they may have become. But it is also beautiful, clever, powerful, just like humans were." The vessel prepared its descent, the massive engines glowing softly as it maneuvered closer to the forest. Drones zipped ahead, scouting the path, while the crew of the Zitrians readied themselves for what they might find. The unknown awaited them below a world of intelligence, legacy, and mystery. As Earth grew larger in the view screens, Ziren whispered, more to himself than anyone else, after 500,000 years, "It is finally time to see what humans have left behind." And with that, the Zitrians began their careful journey toward the hidden wonders of a planet that had once been dominated by a species unlike any other. The return to Earth was not just a mission, it was a voyage into the unknown, where the past and the future would collide in ways no one could imagine. The Zitrian vessel hovered silently above the dense, green canopy of Earth. From orbit, the forests looked peaceful, almost untouched, but the readings told a different story. Beneath the surface, something alive was moving, something intelligent. Every sensor was filled with signals that seemed both familiar and foreign. Lyra floated near the observation deck, crystalline eyes scanning the holographic displays. She could barely contain her excitement. "Commander, the energy patterns are not random," she said, her voice steady but trembling slightly. "They are organized, deliberate. Whoever built this, they are thinking. Siren studied the readings carefully. Intelligence after 500,000 years. Remarkable. Humans were clever, yes, but this may surpass even their expectations. His eyes glimmered with a mix of awe and caution. We must proceed carefully. Observation only for now. No contact until we understand the full scope of what we are dealing with. The vessel adjusted its position to stay directly above the largest energy reading. It was coming from deep underground, beneath what appeared to be a vast forested plain. To the Zitrians, this was unusual. Nature had reclaimed the land above, but something beneath had grown, evolved, and remained active. Lyra tapped on a holographic map, tracing the energy pulses. It is huge, Commander. It stretches for miles. There are tunnels, chambers, and what looks like machinery. But it is unlike any machinery we know. Organic, yet engineered. Responsive. Almost. Alive. Siren nodded slowly. Exactly what humans were capable of. They combine biology and technology in ways few species can imagine. Perhaps these are their descendants, or creations left behind to survive without them. Either way, we must know. The vessel's reconnaissance drones detached from the hull, slipping silently into the atmosphere. Each drone was small, silver, and equipped with sensors capable of detecting the faintest signs of life. As they descended through the forest, they transmitted higher-resolution images back to the ship. The Zitrians watched, fascinated, as the trees shifted subtly, responding to the drone's presence. Lyra's eyes widened. Commander, the forest. It is moving. Not like wind or animals. The plants themselves, they are reacting. Ziren's wings flickered in surprise. Adaptive flora. Intelligent ecosystems. Humanity's influence, perhaps? Or evolution beyond what we expected. Either way, this planet is alive in more ways than we imagined. The drones pushed further into the forest, navigating around massive roots and moss-covered stones. The energy readings grew stronger as they neared a cluster of hills that appeared ordinary on the surface. But beneath, tunnels snaked through the earth like veins, glowing faintly with a soft, pulsing light. Commander, Lyra whispered, her voice tense. These tunnels. They are not natural. Someone built them. And the energy. It is definitely alive. Something or someone is inside. Siren remained calm but alert. We do not know if it is hostile. Observation first. Gather as much information as possible. Only then, we decide. The drones entered one of the tunnels, slipping through narrow passages lined with strange metallic abaya walls. The walls pulsed with light, responding to the presence of the drones. The Zitrians observed with awe as patterns shifted and moved. Almost as if the structure itself were thinking, Lyra leaned closer to the display. Commander, this is incredible. The energy is intelligent. It recognizes us. It is learning. But it is not reacting aggressively. Not yet. It is. Curious. Ziren's eyes reflected the pulsing light. Curiosity. The mark of intelligence. Humans always valued knowledge. Perhaps their legacy. Their descendants share this trait. Hours passed as the drones continued their exploration. They encountered strange devices embedded into the walls of the tunnels, machines that seemed alive, almost organic. Lights danced along the surfaces, and small mechanical tendrils reached out, testing the presence of the drones. The Zitrians watched in amazement. It is as if the machines are aware, Lyra said quietly. Aware and protective. Whoever built this, they did not leave it unguarded. Zyron nodded. A precautionary measure, no doubt. Humans always anticipated threats. Even if they are gone, their creations carry the same caution. This is survival through intelligence and foresight. The drones reached a vast chamber deep underground. The walls were lined with intricate devices that glowed with energy. The floor pulsed with a faint blue light, and a strange humming vibration filled the air. The reading spiked as if the chamber itself were alive. Commander. This is extraordinary, Lyra said, her voice filled with awe. It is a city underground, but alive, and it is enormous. Do you see the size of this? Zyron studied the holographic projection. Yes, this is not simply a shelter or a machine. It is a living network, intelligent and adaptive. Whoever built this planned for survival on a scale we cannot fully comprehend. Suddenly, the drones detected movement. Small shapes darted between the glowing structures. They were humanoid in form, but taller, faster, and more graceful than any humans the Zitrians had ever recorded. Their eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the light of the chamber. They moved with precision and purpose. Lyra's wings shivered. "Commander, look, they are evolved. Not human, but their descendants, perhaps. They recognize us. They are observing, not attacking, but they know we are here." Zyron remained still, analyzing the data. Recognition. Intelligence. This confirms it. Humanity's legacy did not end with their disappearance. Their creations or descendants survived, and they adapted. The chamber's inhabitants paused as the drones moved closer, studying the strange machines with a mix of curiosity and caution. The Zitrians watched silently, fascinated and cautious at the same time. The humans, or what they had become, were clearly aware of the presence above. Lyra floated closer to the display, whispering, "They are amazing, faster, smarter, and aware. They can control their environment. Look at the way the lights and walls respond. They think in ways we cannot fully comprehend." I nodded. Slowly. "This is the proof we needed. Humans, or their descendants, have transcended. They survived, evolved, and adapted. They are no longer the species we once knew, but the legacy is unmistakable." The vessel remained in orbit, sending drones deeper into the network of tunnels and chambers. Each new reading revealed more wonders, structures that seemed alive, energy flows that shifted and adapted, and beings that moved with intelligence and awareness far beyond what any Zitrian could predict. Lyra turned to the commander, her voice full of awe and excitement. "Commander, they are beautiful, powerful, clever. Humanity always was. This is beyond anything I imagined." Ziron's eyes reflected the pulsing blue light from the chambers. "Yes, Lyra, this is what makes humanity unique. Their creativity, their intelligence, and their ability to survive against all odds, even after 500,000 years. They continue to leave their mark. They may be gone in the form we knew, but their essence endures." As night fell over the surface forests, the Zitrians watched from orbit. The underground lights pulsed softly, like a heartbeat, and the movements of the evolved humans suggested awareness, intelligence, and purpose. The planet appeared peaceful from above, but below, it was alive in ways the Zitrians had never imagined. Zyron broke the silence. "Lyra, this is only the beginning. We have observed, we have recorded, but soon we must decide. Do we descend further? Do we make contact? Or do we continue watching from afar?" Lyra hesitated, her wings flickering nervously. "If they are human descendants, if they are intelligent, we must be careful. They may be powerful, far beyond what we expect, but I think they will not attack us without reason. They are curious, like humans always were." Zyron nodded. "Curiosity is the key. Observation, patience, and understanding. That is how humans survived, and that is how we must approach them. We must respect their intelligence and learn from it." For hours, the Zitrians continued their silent watch. Every pulse of energy, every movement of the evolved beings, every response of the intelligent structures was recorded and analyzed. The vessel's crew marveled at the scale complexity and intelligence of what humans had left behind. Finally, Zyron made a decision. "Prepare a detailed report. Everything we have seen must be recorded for the archives. But we will not descend recklessly. We will plan, we will observe, and only when we understand." "Will we take the next step?" Lyra nodded, her eyes reflecting the glowing patterns of the tunnels below. I have never seen anything like this. Even humans in history could not compare. Their legacy. It is terrifying and inspiring. Zyron looked down at the planet, a faint smile forming on his crystalline features. Yes, Lyra, terrifying, because it shows what intelligence can achieve. Inspiring, because it shows what humans were capable of. And above all, enduring. Humanity's mark on this world is eternal. The Zitrians continued their vigil through the night, the blue and green planet turning slowly beneath them. From orbit, Earth seemed calm, quiet, and untouched. But below the surface, life thrived, evolved, and waited. And soon, the Zitrians would discover that humanity's legacy was far more astonishing and more dangerous than they had ever imagined. The Zitrian vessel remained in orbit, its sensors mapping every corner of the underground network beneath the dense forests. The readings were more incredible than anyone aboard had expected. Energy pulsed through tunnels, chambers, and strange machines, all moving with a pattern that suggested intelligence. Lyra floated near the command console, her wings twitching nervously. Commander, the readings are growing stronger. The structures, they respond to us. Every movement of the drones causes changes in the energy flow. It is as if the tunnels themselves are aware. Zirin's crystalline eyes narrowed as he studied the holographic displays. Awareness. Deliberate adaptation. This confirms it. Humans left behind more than machines. They left behind intelligence, embedded in technology and biology. This is the pinnacle of their foresight. Decision was made. The Zitrians would descend, but cautiously. Observation alone would not be enough. They needed to understand the underground structures and the beings within. The surface was peaceful, but beneath it, intelligence thrived. The vessel's landing pods detached and glided silently toward the forest floor. Lyra and a small team of Zitrians entered the first pod, its hull shimmering as it cut through the atmosphere. Trees swayed beneath them, though no wind stirred, as if the forest itself were acknowledging their presence. Upon landing, the team exited the pod carefully. The forest floor was soft and green, the air thick with the scent of vegetation and life. Yet the energy readings beneath their feet thrummed like a heartbeat, calling them toward the hidden tunnels below. Stay alert, Zyron commanded. We do not know what awaits us. Observation first, interaction later. They followed the path indicated by the energy readings, navigating through roots, rocks, and thick undergrowth. Soon, the entrance to the underground network came into view. It was hidden beneath a large cluster of boulders, covered by vines and moss. A faint, pulsing glow emanated from the cracks in the rock. Lyra knelt beside the opening, her wings quivering. It is incredible. The entrance is alive, responsive. It reacts to our presence, but it does not resist. Almost welcoming. Zyron examined the glow. Intelligence can manifest in many forms. This is a message. Whoever built this wanted it to endure, and perhaps to communicate. The team descended carefully into the tunnel. The walls pulsed with energy, and strange patterns shifted and changed in response to their movements. The floor beneath them seemed solid, but occasionally vibrated slightly, as if the entire structure were breathing. Commander, Lyra whispered, the energy. It is conscious. It knows we are here, but it is not hostile. Zyron nodded. Observation confirms what I suspected. Humanity's legacy is not aggression. It is intelligence, foresight, and survival. We must proceed with respect. As they moved deeper, the tunnel opened into a vast chamber. The Zitrians paused, their eyes wide. The chamber was enormous, stretching hundreds of meters in every direction. Strange structures rose from the floor, combining organic shapes with metallic surfaces. Lights pulsed along the walls, responding to the presence of the Zitrians. Lyra floated forward, her eyes scanning the patterns. This is a city underground. Not just machines, but an entire system alive with energy. Look at the complexity. It is incredible. Zyron studied the holographic readings from his wrist console. This confirms what we observed from orbit. Humanity's creations, or descendants, have evolved far beyond what we expected. They are intelligent, aware, and adaptive. Suddenly, a soft glow appeared at the center of the chamber. A holographic projection activated, displaying a figure in human form. It was a message recorded long ago. Lyra gasped. It is a human. A message. But how? After so many years? The hologram spoke in a calm voice, its words resonating in the chamber. To those who discover this, we are the legacy of humanity. Our time is past, but our knowledge, our intelligence, and our foresight endure. We created systems to survive, adapt, and protect this world. If you are observing this, you are witnessing the results of human ingenuity. Zeron's eyes glimmered with understanding. They left behind more than machines. They left behind knowledge, encoded in energy, biology, and structure. They planned for a future we never imagined. Lyra studied the hologram carefully. It mentions survival, adaptation, protection. Commander, these are not ordinary machines. They are alive in every sense. And the beings, we saw them from orbit. They may be human descendants, or something humans created to endure. The hologram continued. We have anticipated challenges, threats, and visitors. Our creations are intelligent. They recognize, adapt, and respond. If you have come here, respect what has been built. Learn, but do not interfere. The Zitrians listened intently. Every word reinforced what they had already sensed. Earth was alive. Not just with biology, but with intelligence that had evolved over 500,000 years. Humans may have vanished, but their influence remained, in forms that could outthink, outlast, and outmaneuver almost any species. Lyra turned to Xiron, her wings quivering with excitement and caution. Commander, do you understand? They left instructions, intelligence, systems capable of thinking. They are teaching us. Without being here, humanity continues to influence this planet even now. Xiron nodded. Yes, this is why humanity is remembered across the galaxy. Their foresight, creativity, and survival instinct are unmatched. We must study this carefully. Any interaction must be respectful. The beings here, human or otherwise, are the next step in evolution. As they explored further, the Zitrians encountered the first of the evolved humans. They moved gracefully through the chamber, taller and faster than any humans recorded in history. Their eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the pulsing energy of the chamber. They did not attack. They only observed their movements, precise and deliberate. Lyra whispered, "They recognize us. They know we are here, and yet they do not act aggressively. It is as if they are studying us like we are studying them." Xiron studied the beings closely. Recognition is intelligence. Observation is caution. This confirms what the hologram said. Humanity's legacy is alive, aware, and incredibly adaptive. We must proceed carefully. The team moved through the chamber, recording everything. The structures responded to their presence, shifting and adjusting. Patterns of light moved along the walls, pulsing with energy that seemed to communicate across the network. Lyra marveled at the complexity. Commander, look at this. They can manipulate their environment, control it. Every movement of ours changes the patterns. They are connected. With the machines, the tunnels, and perhaps the entire planet. Xiron nodded slowly. Yes, humanity's creations are not separate from life. They are integrated, adaptive, and intelligent. We are witnessing a species legacy that transcends time. Even in absence, humanity continues to influence the world. Hours passed as the Zitrians explored the underground chambers. Every corner revealed new marvels, machines that seemed alive, energy flows that adapted to their presence, and beings that moved with awareness and purpose. The planet below, once thought peaceful, was alive in ways they had never imagined. Finally, Xiron gathered his team. We have observed enough for now. The data is overwhelming. Humanity's legacy is clear. survival, intelligence, adaptation, and foresight. We must return to the vessel, analyze, and plan the next step carefully. Contact may be necessary, but it must be done with respect. Lyra nodded, her eyes glowing faintly. Commander, I've never seen anything like this. Even humans in history could not compare. Their legacy, it is beyond imagination. Terrifying, but beautiful. Zaren's crystalline features reflected the glowing light of the chamber. Yes, Lyra, terrifying, because it shows what intelligence can achieve. Beautiful, because it shows what humans were capable of. And most importantly, enduring. Their mark on this world is eternal. As the Zetrians returned to the surface and climbed into their pods, the underground chambers continued to pulse with energy. The beings moved silently, aware of the visitors above, yet calm. The planet itself seemed to breathe, alive with intelligence that had grown and evolved for hundreds of thousands of years from orbit. The vessel observed Earth once more. The forests shimmered in the sunlight, the oceans sparkled, and the underground lights pulsed faintly, like the heartbeat of a sleeping giant. The Zetrians knew that their mission was only beginning. They had discovered a world transformed by human legacy, live with intelligence and waiting to reveal its secrets. Zaren looked at Lyra, his voice calm but filled with awe. Lyra, remember this. Humanity may be gone in form, but their influence remains. We are witnessing the future they prepared. The next step in evolution begins here, on this planet, and we are only observers for now. Lyra nodded, her wings flickering softly. Yes, Commander. And whatever comes next, it will change everything we know about life, intelligence, and the universe itself. The vessel prepared to return to orbit, carrying with it the first observations of Earth's evolved intelligence. The Zetrians had seen the beginnings of something extraordinary, a legacy that defied time and expectation. And deep below the forests, the descendants of humanity waited, aware, intelligent, and ready for the moment when the world above would meet them. The Zetrian vessel hovered silently above Earth, its hull reflecting the faint green glow of the forest canopy below. Inside, Commander Zyron and his team reviewed the data from their descent into the underground chambers. The energy readings were extraordinary, holographic maps, filled with pulsing patterns that seemed almost alive. Lyra's eyes shone with curiosity and awe. Commander, the readings from the last chamber, they are growing stronger. Something is moving, adapting, and it is aware of us in ways we cannot fully understand. Zaren's crystalline features reflected a mixture of caution and wonder. Yes, Lyra, humanity's legacy is more than clever machines or tunnels. These beings, these descendants, are intelligent, adaptive, and powerful. We have only scratched the surface. The decision was made to send a small team deeper into the network. Observation was no longer enough. They needed to understand the creature's capabilities, the full extent of the underground system, and the intelligence that had evolved over 500,000 years. The landing pod touched down softly at the edge of the largest chamber. The team disembarked, moving carefully through the glowing corridors. The walls pulsed in response to their presence, and the air thrummed with energy that was almost tangible. Every step seemed to draw the attention of the beings below. Lyra floated forward, whispering, Commander, do you see that? The shapes, they are moving toward us, not hiding. They are curious, watching, studying. From the shadows, figures began to emerge. They were taller than any human Zetrians had ever recorded, with sleek, strong bodies that moved with grace and precision. Their eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the soft lights of the chamber. They observed silently, without aggression, yet their presence was commanding. Zyron studied them carefully. Recognition. Intelligence. They know we are here. They are assessing us, not attacking. Humanity's descendants, or creations, have evolved far beyond what we expected. One of the beings stepped forward, its movements deliberate. A soft hum echoed through the chamber, and the lights pulsed in response. The holographic systems in the walls shifted, forming patterns that seemed like communication. Lyra whispered, "Commander, they are speaking. With the environment, not with words, but with energy, light, and movement. They are connected to the tunnels, the machines. Everything in this chamber, they are integrated." Siren nodded slowly. Integration. This is remarkable. Humanity's creations, or descendants, have not only survived, they have become part of the world itself. Intelligence, environment, and technology fused into one. This is evolution on a scale we cannot fully imagine. The beings moved closer, their eyes glowing brighter. The chamber seemed to respond to their approach. The walls shifted, and patterns of light flowed along the surfaces, forming shapes that resembled ancient human writing, but far more advanced. Lyra studied the readings. "Commander, they are showing us knowledge. History, technology, perhaps even instructions, encoded in the energy. They want us to see, to understand." Without speaking, Zeron's wings flickered as he analyzed the data. Yes, observation confirms it. Humanity left behind intelligence, not just machines. Their descendants, or creations, can communicate, teach, and adapt. We are witnessing the culmination of human foresight. Suddenly, the chamber vibrated slightly. The beings paused, and the lights pulsed faster, responding to some unseen command. The energy readings spiked, and the holographic walls projected an image of Earth as it once was. Showing humans building, learning, and creating. The scene shifted, revealing the evolution of these beings over hundreds of thousands of years. Lyra gasped. "Commander, they have recorded everything. Their history, their evolution. It is all here, alive in the chamber. Humans may be gone, but their legacy, it is eternal." One of the beings stepped closer to Siren. Its eyes reflected intelligence far beyond what any Zitrian had encountered. The holographic pattern shifted. A message appeared in a form the Zitrians could comprehend through their universal. "We are the legacy of humanity. Our creators anticipated the passage of time, the disappearance of our kind, and the arrival of observers. We are aware, intelligent, and adaptive. Observe us, learn, but do not interfere unless necessary. The balance of this world depends on understanding, respect, and caution." Lyra's wings trembled as she read the message. "Commander, they are warning us. They are aware of our intentions, our presence, and yet they do not attack. They are powerful, but cautious. Their intelligence surpasses any we have encountered." Zeron's gaze hardened. Yes, terrifying. Because it shows what humans could achieve. Inspiring. Because it proves that intelligence, foresight, and adaptation endure. We are in the presence of something greater than us. Something humanity prepared to last across the ages. The team moved carefully through the chamber, observing the beings and the living structures. The walls shifted subtly as they passed, creating pathways and displays of knowledge. Machines that were once tools now appeared as extensions of the beings themselves, responding instantly to their thoughts, movements, and presence. Lyra whispered, "Commander, look at how they control their environment. Every movement, every thought. The tunnels, the walls, the lights, all respond. They are connected to everything, and yet they do not show aggression. Only observation and intelligence." Siren nodded slowly. Integration and adaptation. Humanity's descendants, or creations, have merged with their environment. They are not just intelligent, they are one with the world they inhabit. This is survival, foresight, and evolution combined. And it is terrifying, because it proves what humans were capable of. As they moved deeper, they encountered larger chambers, each containing more evolved beings and complex adaptive systems. The Zitrians observed silently, careful not to trigger any defensive responses. Every new room revealed more knowledge, holographic archives, living machines, and patterns of energy that stored information far beyond the Zitrians' understanding. Lyra floated beside Siren, whispering in awe, "Commander, Even the machines are alive. They think, adapt, and communicate. Everything here, everything humans left behind, is intelligent, and their descendants. They are more than human. They are perfect survivors designed to endure, adapt, and thrive. Xiron studied the readings carefully. Yes, Lyra, humanity always valued survival and foresight. They anticipated threats, changes, and the passage of time. Their descendants, or creations, embody that vision. They are capable of surviving anything. Even we must proceed with caution. Suddenly, one of the beings moved closer to the Zitrians. Its presence was overwhelming, yet calm. The energy readings spiked, and the chamber seemed to hum with awareness. The being extended a hand, and a holographic map appeared between them, showing the tunnels, chambers, and the network of intelligent systems. Lyra gasped. "Commander, they are showing us everything. They want us to see, understand, and learn. They are teaching us. Without words, humanity, even gone, continues to shape this world." Xiron nodded slowly. "Yes, terrifying, because they are beyond our comprehension. Inspiring, because it proves that intelligence, foresight, and adaptation endure. Humanity's mark on this planet is eternal, and we are witnessing it firsthand." Hours passed as the Zetrians explored the chamber, recording data and observing the beings. Every interaction revealed more intelligence, more adaptation, and more evidence of humanity's foresight. The beings themselves were calm, curious, and aware, living testament to the power of human ingenuity. Finally, Xiron gathered his team. "We have seen enough for now. Humanity's legacy is alive, intelligent, and adaptive. We have observed their descendants, or creations, and their power is immense. We must return to the vessel, analyze our findings, and plan carefully. Contact may be necessary, but only when we are certain it is safe." Lyra nodded, her wings flickering softly. "Yes, Commander. I have never seen anything like this. Humanity may be gone, but their influence, their intelligence, it is eternal. Terrifying, but beautiful." Xiron looked down at the glowing tunnels beneath the forest. "Yes, Lyra, terrifying, because it shows what intelligence can achieve. Beautiful, because it shows what humans were capable of. And most importantly, enduring. Their legacy is eternal, and we are merely observers of its power." As the Zetrians returned to the surface and climbed into their pods, the underground chambers continued to pulse with energy. The beings moved silently, aware of the visitors above, yet calm. The planet itself seemed to breathe, alive with intelligence that had grown and evolved for hundreds of thousands of years from orbit. The vessel observed Earth once more. The forests shimmered in sunlight, the oceans sparkled, and the underground lights pulsed faintly like the heartbeat of a sleeping giant. The Zitrians knew that the final stage of their mission was approaching. They had discovered a world transformed by human legacy, alive with intelligence, and waiting to reveal the full extent of its power. Xiron looked at Lyra, his voice calm, but filled with awe. "Lyra, remember this. Humanity may be gone in form, but their influence remains. We are witnessing the future they prepared. Their descendants, or creations, are the next step in evolution. And when the time comes, we will see the true power of humanity's legacy." Lyra nodded, her eyes glowing softly. "Yes, Commander. And whatever comes next, it will change everything we." The Zitrian vessel hovered silently above the forest, its silver hull reflecting the soft green glow of the trees below. The underground network pulsed faintly, like a living heart beneath the surface. Commander Xiron and his team gathered in the observation deck. Reviewing the countless data collected during their descent, Lyra floated near the console, her wings flickering nervously. "Commander, the readings are incredible. The beings we observed, the intelligent machines, the energy flows. Everything is connected. It is a living system, aware of everything that moves within it. Humanity's legacy. It is far beyond what I imagined." Xiron's eyes reflected both awe and caution. Yes, Lyra, we have seen the results of 500,000 years of evolution and foresight. Humanity may no longer exist in its original form, but their influence, their intelligence, and their creativity endure. They left behind a system that can adapt, survive, and think. It is a testament to their greatness. Lyra's gaze fell toward the forest below. Do you think they will ever leave the underground? Or have they chosen to remain hidden, observing and protecting their world? Zirin shook his head slowly. We do not know. Perhaps they have chosen to remain integrated with the systems and the planet itself. Perhaps they are waiting for a moment we cannot yet predict. What is clear is this: they are aware, intelligent, and far beyond our comprehension. Humanity's descendants or creations have achieved a level of evolution that challenges the galaxy itself.
Oh.
The vessel drifted in orbit, the Zetrians silent as they absorbed the enormity of what they had witnessed. The underground chambers pulsed with intelligence, and from orbit the faint glow suggested a civilization alive, aware and waiting. Lyra turned to Zirin, her wings trembling slightly. Commander, what do we do now? Do we make contact? Or do we leave them undisturbed? Ziron's gaze remained on the planet below. Observation and understanding must come first. Contact may be dangerous. These beings, or systems, are far more capable than anything we have encountered. Any interference could disrupt what humanity created, or worse, provoke a response we cannot predict. The team reviewed the holographic archives once more. The messages from the holograms, the adaptive machines, and the energy systems told a story of human foresight, resilience, and ingenuity. Humanity had anticipated the disappearance of their species. They had created beings and systems capable of surviving without intervention, capable of learning, adapting, and thriving. Lyra's voice was soft, but filled with awe. Commander, they are not just survivors. They are the ultimate evolution of human intelligence. They have surpassed everything we once knew. Even we, advanced as we are observers of their legacy. Terrifying and inspiring. Zirin nodded slowly. Yes, terrifying. Because it shows the power of intelligence, adaptation, and foresight. Inspiring. Because it proves that humans were capable of leaving a mark that endures across 500,000 years. Their legacy is eternal. The vessel remained in orbit for several hours, observing the patterns of light and movement in the underground chambers. The beings moved gracefully, interacting with the living systems around them. The walls and tunnels responded instantly to their presence, shifting and adapting. Every energy pulse, every movement, every decision was precise, intelligent, and deliberate. Lyra whispered, Commander, it is almost like the entire planet is alive. Not just the beings, not just the machines, but Earth itself. Humanity left behind a system that integrates biology, technology, and intelligence. It is perfect, in a way. Darren's wings flickered thoughtfully. Integration is humanity's gift. They foresaw the need to survive beyond their species, beyond time. The beings we observed, they are the embodiment of human foresight. And we are fortunate to witness it. As the sun set over the forest, the glow from the underground chambers intensified slightly. The Zetrians observed silently, understanding that they were not intruding. They were guests in a world designed to endure, to adapt, and to observe. Humanity's descendants or creations had created a legacy so complete that even advanced observers like the Zetrians were humbled. Lyra turned to the commander, her voice quiet. Commander, do you think we should leave a message? Or will that be considered interference? Zirin thought carefully. No message. Humanity's legacy is self-sufficient. Any attempt to communicate could alter the balance they have maintained for 500,000 years. We observe, we learn, but we do not interfere. That is respect, and it is what humanity would have wanted. The team compiled the last of the data. Holographic maps, energy readings, and detailed recordings of the underground chambers were stored securely in the vessel's archives. Every discovery, every interaction, every pattern of intelligence would be studied and preserved. Humanity's legacy would be documented in Zytrian history, not as conquerors, but as witnesses. Lyra's eyes lingered on the pulsing lights below. Commander, they are incredible. Even gone, humans continue to teach, guide, and inspire. Their intelligence? It is eternal. Sveren's voice was calm, yet carried a hint of awe. Yes, Lyra, that is the essence of humanity. They are gone in body, but their influence continues. The descendants we observed, the systems they built, they are proof that intelligence, foresight, and creativity can endure across time. This is humanity at its finest. Hours passed as the vessel prepared for departure. The Zytrians had collected all possible data without disturbing the delicate balance of the underground civilization. They observed the beings one last time. They moved through the chambers, interacting with their environment. Perfectly aware of the visitors above, yet calm, patient, and intelligent. Lyra whispered, "Commander, I will never forget this. Humanity may be gone, but they are still shaping the world. Still teaching, still guiding, still enduring. It is beautiful." Zyron nodded, his gaze fixed on Earth. Beautiful and humbling. We came to observe, to understand, and to witness. Humanity's legacy is more than survival. It is intelligence, foresight, and the ability to shape the universe long after they are gone. We leave them undisturbed, but their influence will remain with us forever. The vessel began its ascent, leaving the forests and underground chambers behind. From orbit, Earth appeared calm and peaceful. The forests shimmered in the sunlight, the ocean sparkled, and deep below, the pulse of intelligence continued, steady and eternal. Humanity's descendants or creations were alive, aware, and thriving. A testament to the brilliance of the species that had once ruled the planet. Zyron looked at Lyra, his voice soft but filled with pride. "Lyra, remember this moment. Humanity may have disappeared from the surface, but their essence endures. Their descendants, or creations, have achieved a level of intelligence and adaptation that even we cannot fully comprehend. They are the future, and their legacy is eternal." Lyra nodded, tears glimmering in her eyes. "Yes, Commander. And one day, the galaxy will see the results of humanity's brilliance. They were clever, resilient, and foresighted beyond measure. Even gone, they continue to inspire." The Zytrians recorded the final readings, storing every detail for their archives. Humanity's legacy, alive beneath the forests, would be remembered not as a vanished species, but as a civilization whose intelligence, creativity, and foresight had created a new future. As the vessel departed Earth's orbit, the planet receded into the distance. From afar, it appeared serene and unchanged, but below the surface, life thrived, intelligent and aware. The beings moved through their chambers, perfectly integrated with the living systems humanity had left behind. They were patient, prepared, and eternal. Zyron and his team gazed at the planet one last time. "We leave with knowledge, awe, and respect," he said. "Humanity may have disappeared from the stars, but their influence, their intelligence, endures. We have witnessed the power of a species that refused to fade from the universe. They are the true legacy of intelligence and foresight," Lyra whispered, "Commander. Humanity is more than survival. They are inspiration, endurance, and brilliance, and their story will never be forgotten." With that, the vessel turned away from Earth, carrying with it the evidence of a species that had transcended time. The Zytrians had observed, learned, and been humbled. Humanity's legacy was alive, eternal, ready to shape the universe in ways that even the most advanced civilizations could scarcely imagine. And deep beneath the forests of Earth, the pulse of life and intelligence continued. Humanity's descendants or creations remained patient, aware, and eternal. Their story was far from over. The Zytrians left with a sense of wonder and respect. They had returned after 500,000 years and discovered the terrifying and inspiring truth. Humanity, gone yet everlasting, had created a legacy that would endure forever.